If you're from West Africa, most especially in Nigeria, and you are still playing romance with Western and America, I want you to watch this video very carefully and know who they are and what they are up to. If you're a soldier in Africa and they are sending you to Nigeria to go and fight war, just know that you are not fighting for interests of Africa. You are fighting for our slavery. Watch this video and share this video.
Africa, historically, sub-Saharan Africa, has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. Okay, but this is the opposition that they're fighting. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about. What I want to show you is how these structures are operating. It's just 20 minutes, so we can't do very much, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. And why I keep the ideology part there is because we are part of the producers of ideology. At universities and academic institutions, we are complicit in this whole enterprise. Okay, so the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing. Okay? And to show them it's your...
I was talking to a friend from the Congo recently, and they were very surprised and excited when I asked them about Patrice Lumumba. They said, "How do you know about Patrice Lumumba, bro?" And I say, "I study politics, man, and Lumumba was a great leader." And he said, "Yes, he was, bro. Why did the US and Belgium kill him?" And I said, "Because of capitalism and imperialism, my friend. Lumumba wanted to use the resources of Africa and of the Congo to invest in the people and raise their standard of living, bring them out of poverty. Whereas the US and Belgium wanted to use Africa's resources to get rich themselves, to extract those resources and bring them back to the West. So they orchestrated a coup against the great Patrice Lumumba, also known as the Lion of the Congo, and they had him killed by firing squad. And they've been stealing Africa's resources ever since. Today, the US maintains an entire system of drone warfare and surveillance over Africa to maintain their political interests, and they've also been bombing countries like Somalia. In 2014, NATO led an intervention against Libya that toppled that government. They do everything they can to rob Africa of their resources. And now as that's changing and Africa is shifting towards more economic relations with China, the US is melting down. And they're trying to destroy China, but that's a story for another day.
In Mali, we had a long problem of terrorism. Until recently, under the leadership of Colonel Assimi Goïta, we realized that, these terrorists are formed by Emmanuel Macron and her Western allies and SIA. Then we decided to remove their international organizations out of Mali, their embassies out of Mali, their military out of Mali, to break the supply chain of weapons, food, and their other necessary resources to fight us, to destabilize Africa. When we did that, we militarized the army of Mali. We then went to Russia. We came with so many weapons. We went to confront the terrorist because now we know that the terrorist's mother is no longer in Mali. When we encountered the terrorists there, we taught them a lesson. You know what happened? The United Nations Human Rights Commission raised a red flag with an outcry that we in Mali are abusing human rights. You know the human rights for whom? For their children. Those terrorists that they formed and left there are the people that they're crying of that we are abusing their human rights. But when they are terrorizing and destabilize Africa every day for the advantage of the West to get cheaper resources and cheaper labor in Africa, they don't complain. They don't say anything. You will not hear. Imagine a journalist from Europe. We are looking for terrorists, but a journalist from Europe can come with a camera and go and do a documentary inside a danger zone where there are terrorists. Where did he got the numbers of the terrorists? How does he or she have an access with the terrorists? Their non-governmental organizations are comfortable in the terrorist zone. What are they doing there? They are looking points and points and points and tagging where there are mineral resources and extract. Using those terrorists to fund them with those money, destabilizing the people of Africa. Double standards. Imagine those terrorists, if they don't come in Africa armed, they will come as the journalists, as oppositional parties, as the advocates of human rights with their international organizations. If we arrest them on spying on us, you hear the outcry from their masters saying there is a human rights abuse in Africa. But they've kept Julian Assange for a long time after he has exposed them. And they even threatened to bomb ICC if ICC issues a warrant of arrest to any American citizen. Double standards.